Now, one of the things that we teach our students from day one is how to make mayonnaise by hand. And it is a skill. Some people say, well, why do you bother? You can buy perfectly good bottled mayonnaise, but it isn't the same. It's also an important thing to learn a skill of making an emulsion sauce. So the important thing about this is that when you add the oil to the egg yolk, it has to be done slowly so that it doesn't curdle. So I'm going to go through the various things. In here I have got an egg yolk and just need to start to break that up a little bit there. I'm going to add a little pinch of salt. That will also help to break it up a little bit, and also some English mustard, which helps as well with the flavour and with the emulsification. So the other ingredients I've got here are some white wine vinegar and some lemon juice, and here's some water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the oil. This is just ordinary sunflower oil, and I'm going to add it a little bit at a time. I've got the bowl on a cloth so it's not going to wobble around too much. Now, if I pour this in too quickly, it will curdle. So basically what we do here is to take the spoon and let it flow off like that as I go. So, and keep mixing it, keep moving it. And you should just keep mixing it. If it starts to look very yellow and it's not getting thicker at all, this is beginning to thicken, and it's looking separated, then you have added the oil too quickly and it's curdled. If it's separated and curdled, you can just scrape out the bowl, wash it out, use the curdled mixture along with extra oil on a fresh egg yolk in a clean bowl, and just follow the whole process again. If you're using an extra egg yolk, you might need to add a bit more oil as well. So this is just one egg yolk to 150 mils of oil. So you can see it's beginning to thicken up, and that's looking quite nice and thick. So at this point I could add a little bit of lemon juice. You have to be careful with this, because if you add too much, for one thing it can make it a bit thin, but also it just makes it too acidic. So just a little bit of lemon juice there, or you could just use cider vinegar or white wine vinegar. Now you find as you go and as you add this slowly and you keep mixing it, that actually the mixture itself starts to get quite thick. If it starts to look a bit oily and a little bit fatty and it's getting very thick, you do need to add some liquid at that point, and it can be either the white wine vinegar, lemon juice, or the water. Sometimes you just need to add water to thin it down a little bit so it doesn't make it too acidic. So at this point I have added about a third of the oil, and so I can now start to add it a little quicker, and eventually you get to the point where you can be very brave and you can start to pour it in. Keep a close eye on it. Is it getting very thick? And this is getting quite thick now, so I'm probably going to add a little bit of water to that, or I might use a little bit of the vinegar. Not too much, just a little. And that thins it down enough just to allow it to take more oil. Getting a bit thick now, so I'm going to add a bit of water. Not too much, just a little bit. So there we are. That is the mayonnaise already. And you then would want to, just to give it a little bit of seasoning. So I have here a little bit of salt. I've added some salt before, and I would prefer to add white pepper to this. White pepper is quite strong, so you don't need too much, because if you add the ground black pepper you have black specks in there, and that's the basic mayonnaise. I'm just going to give that a taste, just to see what it's like. Very nice, actually. I'm going to add a few things to this. So I've got a little bit of garlic here. I could add a bit of garlic to it to make it a garlic mayonnaise. It's not quite an aioli, but it's a garlic mayonnaise. That's quite nice. I've got some parsley here that I could add. A little bit of chopped parsley. With a little bit of mint. And if I wanted to, I could just add some basil as well. And this is nice to go with lots of different things. It goes with poached fish. It would go with salads. Really delicious. So just a little bit just to taste it. And that's delicious. So that's homemade mayonnaise. Very simple. You just have to be careful when you're mixing it not to go too fast and add the oil too quickly. If you are interested in more videos, we've got more videos on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, please, if you have a comment or a question, please put it on there. And if there's anything else you'd like us to show you, please let us know as well. If you have seen this on Facebook, you'll find there's a link to our website where you'll find the recipe for this. But until the next time, goodbye.